Mississippi Live weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live weather at 6. It's been an eventful Saturday afternoon here in North Mississippi, as you were probably tuned in with me and Matt tracking out that line of storms that moved through North Mississippi, bringing some heavy rainfall and some gusty conditions. Thankfully, that line has continued moving on out of North Mississippi, and we're just going to enjoy some soggy conditions for the rest of the evening and overnight hours ahead. So that takes us into our first headline. Soggy conditions, they're going to linger around. Expect kind of what's going on right now to continue towards midnight, post-midnight, and into the start of your Sunday morning. The good news is that it's not that intense, heavy rainfall and just storms moving on through. It's just going to be these rain showers that we can enjoy stress-free, falling asleep to later on tonight. Going to be a great night across North Mississippi. But take advantage of tomorrow. Now, do we have rain chances for tomorrow? Yes, but it's not going to be as prominent as those rain chances Monday or definitely Wednesday. This stormy active pattern, it's persisting into the start of our spring break and especially throughout the weekend, as we've already seen. So enjoy tomorrow. Try to get outdoors, enjoy some time outside, because those stormy conditions, they're going to return throughout your Monday and also into your Wednesday as well. So I'm going to make sure you know kind of which days are best to go outside, enjoy some time, and what days are going to be those stormy ones as we get ready for that pattern to persist. But let's take a look at the first 12 as we wrap up our Saturday evening and prepare for our Sunday morning ahead. There's still a few rumbles of thunder and some lingering thunderstorms affecting us this evening, but that line continues to move on out. We're going to enjoy calmer conditions, but definitely soggy ones. Upper 60s by 7 o'clock, cooling off towards the mid 60s by 10 o'clock during the 10 o'clock broadcast hour. Going to be a lot more calm across North Mississippi. But as we transition into the AM hours, we're not really dropping much with these temperatures, pretty much settling out in the low 60s and keeping these rain showers pretty consistent into the overnight hours ahead. Now let's take some live looks all across North Mississippi. First, we'll start off with Tupelo, sponsored by our Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling. Let's take a look at Tupelo. 59 degrees, feels like 59, and this is just a drastic difference from those afternoon highs we were experiencing earlier today in the low 80s. Well, that cold front, all that rain, cold air helped us really cool off into the evening as well. That dew point also taking a substantial hit. We were pretty much in the mid 60s, low 60s across North Mississippi, now in the low 30s. So showing a drier pattern, drier air making its way into North Mississippi. Now, it won't feel dry outside. We're going to still feel pretty soggy, but showing that we're not going to see those heavy downpours or anything intense like we saw earlier today. Same thing out here in Columbus, a little bit more elevated dew point as y'all are still seeing those rainy conditions kind of linger. 63 degrees, feels like 63, 10-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the north. That's going to allow you to continue cooling on off as those cameras continue to try to load on in. That dew point still in the low 60s, but we'll see that decrease just a little bit more into the evening hours ahead as those cameras start to get fired up. But that Greenville camera, low 60s yet again with those dew points as well. 5-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the southeast. So still much more calm conditions across North Mississippi, a lot better than what we were tracking out earlier. And we can see that right here with our Mama Justice Doppler radar. That intense line that we were looking at earlier today, already moving on out of North Mississippi, starting to affect the most northwestern portions of Alabama. But for us here, still in North Mississippi, we'll still see a lot of green, some of those yellows, maybe even those reds and oranges popping up. Now, not expecting anything intense with that. There's just kind of some heavier showers making their way to your area, and it's just going to linger all night long. So it's going to be a perfect inside Saturday lazy rainy movie night type of forecast. That's the best way I can explain it. It's stress-free. Enjoy the rainfall. It's going to be a beautiful night. Just stay indoors, and any outdoor plans you have, try to keep them inside, as it will be pretty soggy for the rest of the overnight period. We can look a little further down south where we'll still see some heavier showers start to affect those just south of Noxubee County, and we can even put this on a loop just so we can see kind of how it's been moving for the past hour. Kind of still, like Matt said, as we were wrapping up that broadcast and that coverage earlier, kind of those heavier showers that were pretty warned with those severe thunderstorm warnings sticking south of our region. So for most of us, pretty much all of us here in North Mississippi, we're in the all clear. It's going to be a rainy, soggy period ahead of us as we wrap up our evening and get ready for the overnight hours ahead. But still, want to bring this back just to kind of show you North Mississippi and what to expect. Still, a whole lot of rain. We're not tracking out any stormy conditions overnight. Just going to be pretty rainy as we get ready for our Sunday ahead. Now, what's been responsible for this is a cold front moving through North Mississippi, providing that lift for these showers and storms, and it continues kind of moving on through North Mississippi, allowing us to feel a little bit cooler. We can see those severe thunderstorm warnings I was just talking about a second ago, and that was in the Jackson region, thankfully shifting on out, not really affecting us here and not warned any longer as well, showing that decaying is continuing to evolve. Now, we do see some thunderstorm warnings starting to pop up for Birmingham, so we'll have to check in on the sister as she is getting started with her spring break today as well. So I know she's probably going to enjoy stormy conditions, staying indoors, and maybe a lazy Saturday night. But that cold front continues moving on through North Mississippi and pretty much just the eastern portion of the United States, providing that just line of showers and storms across our country. Now, Futurecast is going to continue to show those heavier showers affect those, especially south of our viewing area, and thankfully it stays that way. We're not tracking anything here in North Mississippi. It stays south. We'll still see some of those yellow, oranges, and reds try to push on into North Mississippi, but it's nothing intense, just heavier showers starting to affect us. Maybe a rumble of thunder if we want to go that far talking about intensity, but that's about it. That's around 8:30 tonight, and as we continue into the evening overnight period ahead, we're just going to continue to see a whole lot of green, just soggy conditions lingering. That's because of this stationary front, kind of staying stationary here across North Mississippi, providing some lift for rain showers, not going to produce anything intense across our region, but going to keep those rain showers in the forecast for the next few hours and throughout your Sunday as well. We can see that here as we start off our Sunday morning, and this is kind of going to be the story. We're going to talk about those little green blobs and just bubbles trying to pop up as you go about your day. Not meaningful rainfall whatsoever, nothing as compared to today, but keep that rain jacket and umbrella handy just in case a stray shower pops up. But for the most part, we're going to try to stay mostly dry throughout North Mississippi tomorrow. Just could see a shower kind of pop in here and there and move on out really quickly. We can see that right here on the next 24. Pretty much a cloudy forecast ahead with those chances of rainfall to start off your Sunday. Low 60s by 7 o'clock, 20% chance of those rain showers still moving on out of our area. But as we continue into the afternoon hours, we will start building on up in temperatures, reaching the low 70s by 4 o'clock and starting to see drier conditions by those afternoon and evening hours as well. By 7 o'clock, we're going to start cooling off into the upper 60s, and 10 o'clock tomorrow night during our broadcast, we're going to be on the cusp of those upper 50s yet again. Hoping we can try to reach those tonight. Just not really going to seem like a possibility as we're going to be pretty much stuck in the low 60s for our lows. But don't go anywhere. We're going to make sure to cover all those pictures that you sent in tonight and kind of what that line produced across North Mississippi and give you the very latest as this active weather pattern will persist into the rest of your weekend and into the upcoming work week or spring break week ahead. Make sure don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Alert! It's a flash sale for 1 week only at Room to Room in 6 p.m. Saturday. Prices slashed store-wide. In-store coupons, BOGO accessories, King for a Queen mattress deals, and special financing. These deals will be gone in a flash. Room to Room Tupelo.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, let's take a look at some Weather Watchers pictures sent in across from North Mississippi. I wanted to start off with this one sent in by Jessica out there in Farmington, right around the Corinth region, showing that we did have some hail be produced with some of these storms. We were in that marginal risk, so level 1 out of 5, not really an elevated risk, but showing that it's possible. And did we see some? We did. Pea-size hail out there pretty much in Alcorn County. You can kind of see how it's off of pretty much just that concrete with those pebbles around, even that tiny leaf. I don't even know what that is, but I feel like we've all seen those leaves blow across North Mississippi. So still kind of puts it in perspective how small that hail was, but was still able to fall down with those intense line of showers and storms moving on through. Speaking of that intense line, you can kind of see it coming a ways away. This was sent in by Cam out there in Columbus, kind of showing those SLCs that me and Matt like to call it, those scary looking clouds, kind of just showing a shelf cloud moving through the atmosphere right above your heads, kind of showing those thunderstorms. They're working their way towards you. I've always loved seeing shelf clouds coming in from a distance. So I love these pictures you guys send in, and I love broadcasting them as well. So fantastic picture sent in by Cam out there in Columbus. Another beautiful one out here sent in by Alex in New Albany, kind of showing that self cloud almost overhead as it continued pushing through North Mississippi, and will eventually start dumping that heavy rainfall. Kind of see some more of that lowering off into the distance as well. Thankfully, again, this wasn't a high-end severe threat. We knew that. We wanted to make sure you guys knew that. Just wanted to track it out all day long with you guys to make sure y'all knew what was going on and that we didn't leave you guys in the dark and keep y'all best prepared. So let's take a look at our evening planner to track out the rest of your evening and get ready for the overnight period ahead. We're going to see a lot of rain showers continue to pretty much just linger across North Mississippi. 30% chance by 8 o'clock with temperatures in the mid 60s, slowly cooling off towards the low 60s, and that's where we're staying. Those rain showers and temperatures almost staying pretty consistent. Going to just be a mild and soggy forecast ahead, but again, nothing stormy, nothing intense as we get ready for our Sunday morning. Now, those temperatures right now all across North Mississippi, a lot better than what we were experiencing earlier this afternoon. We were seeing temperatures pretty much in the low 80s. Going to be a toasty afternoon earlier today, but that cold front bringing in all that rainfall. Even while I was building the show earlier, you can kind of still see the faint, just thin red line as that heat continued moving on out of our area. That cold front just pushing it on out. So much more beautiful conditions as long as you don't mind the constant drizzle above your heads, but definitely beautiful temperatures as you step outside and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Now, Futurecast is going to show those heavier showers, this kind of cold front transitioning towards a stationary front the further south, southwest it goes. Whole lot of rain showers across North Mississippi. That continues to be the story. Now, those heavier showers, that line of thunderstorms kind of moving on through our area, already on out of here into northwest Alabama. Still seeing some of those heavier showers down there in the Noxubee and Winston County. Again, not tracking out anything tornadic or anything like that. We saw maybe a brief spin up just south of Greenville earlier today. It was kind of as quick as you saw it, briefly disappeared. So kind of showing this isn't the setup for any tornadoes. So I want to make sure to continue letting you guys know that we're not expecting any of that today. We didn't. And we definitely won't expect anything overnight. So just some heavy showers affecting us this evening by 6:30 while we're wrapping up this broadcast. And as we continue into the evening hours ahead, just still going to be soggy, rainy conditions. Even by the 10 o'clock later tonight, still going to be talking about those rain chances pretty much occurring all across North Mississippi. Even every time I go out to get some water, I just kind of see the constant drizzle out throughout the window. So just kind of one of those forecasts as we start off our spring break and get ready for our Sunday ahead. Now, this stationary front, that's going to continue to be kind of the main focus point of our forecast for the next 24 hours, just because it kind of lingers. This one model resets it a little bit. You can start to see the shadow just a little bit further up ahead. Actually, that might be cloud cover, but this model not picking up on it. It kind of just lingers across North Mississippi, providing those chances for rainfall to occur almost all day tomorrow. Again, nowhere near as it was today, just kind of isolated throughout the day, some light showers. But even by Sunday morning, we could start off with some of those lingering showers still bothering us as we get ready for our Sunday morning church commute. Now, those low temperatures, like I mentioned earlier, are still pretty much just the low 60s. Some of us trying to creep our way into the mid to upper 50s. 54 out there in Holly Springs and South Haven, 55 Senatobia, but for a majority of us, sticking in the low 60s. 60 in Hamilton and Tupelo, Houston, Eupora, 62 in Starkville and Columbus, and 63 out there in Aliceville. I was kind of hesitating which one I wanted to call out right there. But speaking of Sunday morning and our church commute tomorrow, take a look at your day planner throughout your Sunday. Going to be a soggy start to the day. Now, imagine almost for the rest of the day, you can kind of imagine a 10% for those rain chances. Not guaranteed all of us stay dry, but it's not guaranteed all of us will see those rain chances. It will honestly be pretty lucky if you do see them, just showing how what's the word I'm looking for? Minute they're going to be across North Mississippi. Warming up towards the upper 60s by the early afternoon hours, topping out in the low 70s. And then by 8 o'clock tomorrow, we'll see temperatures around 67 degrees by 8 o'clock. Now, Futurecast, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Just these isolated bubbles popping up all across North Mississippi. This is starting off around 7 a.m. There we go with that stationary front coming right back here across North Mississippi. Further north you can go, you can start to see those rain showers along almost just north of Highway 6. Kind of along I-22. That's going to continue to be the story throughout your morning to your lunch. 12:30 is still lingering 6 along I-22. As we go into the afternoon hours, maybe some rain showers trying to pop up in the Golden. But as we get that high pressure, it's best Mississippi clearing drier. As they see those rain changes, but we also can't rule out a little pop-up shower or sprinkle as you go about your day as well. Those high temperatures tomorrow doing their best to reach the mid-70s across North Mississippi, but a majority pretty much reaching the upper 60s, low 70s. 70 out there in Holly Springs, 69, Southaven, Tunica, Clarksdale, and Cleveland, pretty much just riding along the Mississippi River. 72 in Tupelo, 74 Amory, Houston, Eupora, and 74 out there in Louisville. But take a look at those feels-like values. Pretty much making us feel slightly cooler than those conditions outside. I know it's a little bit above average for this time of year, so still going to be a beautiful day tomorrow as long as we can try to avoid those rain showers, the little bubbles popping up. It'll be a great Sunday tomorrow. So, of course, go outside, enjoy some fishing. I know the fish supposedly maybe bite a little bit more with rainy weather, so I figured this is the perfect one to throw in for whether it's sunny outside, going to be perfect. Whether it's a little bit sprinkly, might help you out getting a bite, but early morning hours going to be beautiful forecast, pretty much mostly cloudy skies all day long. 60 degrees as you start off the day around 9, mid 60s by 11, transitioning towards the upper 60s by 1. If you can go out tomorrow evening, upper 60s by 7 o'clock, transitioning into the upper 50s by 11. Still going to be a beautiful forecast and starting to see those clearer conditions tomorrow night. We can already see that real quick here on Futurecast, showing those clearer conditions all across North Mississippi. This is around 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And as we continue into those overnight hours, we're not really tracking out much. And that's why we want to enjoy our Sunday, enjoy our overnight period, because that active weather pattern, well, it gets active again throughout our Monday. So let's go through it. As we start off our Monday morning, we're going to see that cloud cover start to build back in as that southerly motion brings more of that moisture up from the Gulf. But for the most part, we should be starting off our Monday morning dry, not expecting any of those rain showers and active weather to make its way here. It's pretty much afternoon hours and on where we're going to start to see those rain showers make their way pretty much into the southern portions of the Delta, riding along the Mississippi River. Then we could start to see some of those thunderstorms start to make their way into our area. This is around 2:30 for your Monday afternoon, pretty much trying to cross the Mississippi River and enter North Mississippi. So early afternoon hours going into 3:30, starting to affect those out there in the Delta, Shelby, Cleveland, Greenville, Hollandale, starting to see the brunt of it first as it moves from the west towards the east, crossing the Mississippi River. Even until 4:30, 5 o'clock, we're starting to see that kind of move all the way across, kind of sticking into the southern portions of our viewing area, affecting those out there in the Golden Triangle, reaching around dinner time at 5:30. So Columbus, Starkville, Louisville, Kosciuszko, and especially those in Webster County as well. Definitely starting to see that heavier and just showers and storms make their way through your area. But even into the evening overnight period, we're going to still see those showers move on out, almost see kind of a second batch of moisture and rain showers make their way in. So enjoy your Sunday tomorrow, because we're still going to see those rain chances come back into the forecast throughout your Monday, even into the rest of your evening. Eventually, by the 10 o'clock broadcast Monday night, they're going to start moving on out of our area. We're going to see drier conditions. Thankfully, those should stick around for your Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we're going to see that active pattern persist yet again. Now, this model doing its best to try to bring some of those rain chances, but notice, not really confident on that. Just some little bubbles popping up, trying to give us something to look at for 2 o'clock in the morning on your Tuesday. Now, those high temperatures for your Monday pretty much reaching the mid to upper 70s all across North Mississippi. 76 in New Albany, Oxford, 75 Southaven, 76 Clarksdale and Cleveland, and 79 in Greenwood and Kosciuszko. So a little bit more toasty throughout your Monday. So make sure you keep those shorts and short sleeves in the rotation. It's been above average for a while, and it will continue to do so. Those feels like values keeping you right there with those actual temperatures outdoors. Maybe a few of us feeling slightly cooler, but you're going to pretty much feel exactly how that temperature is reading outdoors. Now, that 7-day forecast shows we're going to still see those rain showers throughout our Sunday, not as prominent as today. Hopefully, most of us will continue to see those mostly dry conditions, highs reaching the low 70s. As we transition into Monday, that's where we start to see that active weather make its return, see those thunderstorms start to affect us, especially in the southern portions of our viewing area, highs reaching the upper 70s. Crossing into the low 80s by your Tuesday with a much drier forecast and overcast, cloudy conditions before Wednesday continues to be pretty much the main event. And on the weather stage, on what we're expecting to be kind of more of that severe weather, try to make its way into North Mississippi, that we continue tracking out with you guys. We're going to keep you updated on that all weekend long, and of course all week long as we get closer and closer towards Wednesday. But the good news is, once we cross Wednesday night and into Thursday, a beautiful forecast is in store for us for your Thursday, Friday, and heading into the weekend as we get ready for another work week. Low 70s, Low 60s for your highs on Thursday, transitioning to low 70s Friday and into Saturday with sunny, clear skies above. So beautiful forecast is in store. Just got to get through this active period first before we can enjoy them here together. But don't go anywhere. I'm going to track out the last few of those showers and we'll go through radar to make sure everything is looking A-okay so we can wrap up this broadcast and go throughout the rest of our evening with all our plans, and they should be good to go. So I'm going to check the comments during this break, take a look at radar. We'll track that out right back after this break.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live, Weather at 6. I was reading the comments. I know some of y'all were asking about Meridian. I saw that twice, so I wanted to kind of go look at that first. We can take a look as that line kind of continues making its way closer to you guys just south of our viewing area. Now, this through North Mississippi, what we notice is just kind of a lot of heavy rain, a lot of heavy wind gusts, possibility of some hail, but this isn't looking that impressive as compared to kind of how it looked in the Jackson region that was producing some of that hail. So let's put this on a loop just to see if that speed has changed just a little bit over the past hour. There we go with some of those severe thunderstorm warnings that were issued just south of our viewing area, but we can actually track this out. We'll put this on now, and then we'll move this down here, and then we'll go right along the edge of that zone, kind of where we're going to start to see that rain move on through, and especially starting to see that wind. We'll still go around. Let's just go a little bit faster, just in case. We give y'all the very latest. It'll be around Sterling, right around now, Savannah Grove. Let's see, it's just going to start updating. There we go. Marion at 623, Sumterville 625, West Enterprise 626, Lauderdale 627, Stinson 629, Wolf Springs 629, Paynesville 630, and then Orange, Watabee and Boyd at 631, Pleasant Hill and Zero at 632, and Sumba at 633. So just kind of showing y'all the latest on that as we track out the rest of that, which actually, let's go. I'm going to do this in analysis mode so I can actually change that. That's actually what I was going to get into in just a second. There we go. And then let's clear that off. We're going to talk about those rainfall totals in just a second, but wanted to give y'all the very latest. No, I don't know if the sister is tuning in Birmingham, but y'all are under a severe thunderstorm warning as that storm continues pushing into northern Alabama. So that will expire around 7 o'clock. So kind of seeing those higher reflectivity products starting to shine just a little bit more, especially for those out there in the Warrior, Graysville region, kind of probably prompted that warning due to maybe an inch of hail or definitely some wind. So that continues pushing into the Birmingham region. I know everybody's covering that out there. I want to get back to y'all asking about Meridian, and I'm going to draw this out one more time. And then kind of change the settings. I'm going to do this right along the edge, go around 30, 34 again, and then let's do this. All right, bear with me. There we go. All right, so Meridian starting to affect you guys, and it's going to get a little bit heavier and windier as that line continues to get more on top of you guys, but then reaching Enterprise around 629, Stonewall 635, Cuba 645, York 647, Quitman 648, and Listman 713. So I wanted to check that out for you guys, see if anybody else has anything. Looks like my professor Jake reads in the comments. He said, had some pea-sized hail and very strong winds in Ridgeland around 4 p.m. And ironically, part of the storm. Well, I appreciate you letting me know about that, Jake. That's my forecasting professor who helps me make sure I can get these forecasts nailed down for you guys. So still working through school as we wrap up this last semester in college. But take a look at radar. I know a lot of us want to know if we're in the all clear and what to expect for the rest of our evening. I would say for us here in our area, I kind of show that right here. For us here in North Mississippi, we are good. Everybody's in the all clear. Y'all are good to go for the rest of y'all's evening. Like I keep mentioning, still going to be soggy. We're going to still kind of see that rain continue throughout the overnight period, but we're not tracking out anything intense. is for those kind of in Meridian, DeKalb that we were just talking about. That line's moving through right now, but notice it's not warned as compared to those severe thunderstorm warnings out there in the Birmingham region. So definitely some good news. We're pretty much almost all done for the night. Again, this wasn't a high-end severe weather event. Just kind of wanted to track this out with you guys to make sure you guys had the very latest here in North Mississippi. But real quick, before we wrap this up, I wanted to talk about rainfall totals. Let me make sure I can do that so I don't break anything. Here's the rainfall totals over the past 12 hours. We're talking about 2.5 inches out there in the Holly Springs region, just east of Oxford, just over 2 inches. 1.6 out there in Tippah County, just over a quarter out there outside of Tupelo and into Itawamba in the Fulton region. 1.5 inches out there in Franklin County, around just over 3/4 in Oktibbeha, and of course out there in the Delta, pretty much around 2 inches in Cleveland, and then over 2 inches in Greenville. So kind of just showing it was more of just a high impact rain event, very gusty, very windy. I know we heard that wind howling throughout the afternoon hours, but we're going to be good to go for the rest of our evening overnight period ahead. We're going to see those rainfall totals continue to creep up just slightly, just not going to be as intense as it was earlier on today. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to the 6 o'clock broadcast. We'll be live later on tonight at 10. And of course, here's the QR code to both our iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you have given us, but we want to make sure you have this app, this tool, so we can send you those alerts when we have this active weather here in North Mississippi. And well, we'll definitely be more active as we get ready for the severe weather season coming up and what's going to take place this upcoming work week as well. But like I mentioned earlier, we'll be live later on tonight at 10, where we'll have more model runs to give you the very latest for those rain chances out there on your Monday. And of course, those storm chances, well, technically for your Monday, but definitely into your Wednesday as well. So make sure to continue to stay in tune and updated with us here at Mississippi Live Weather. Well, we'll keep you updated all weekend long and into the upcoming work week ahead. But for now, enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Maybe enjoy that rain just hitting the roof and have a nice, lazy movie night indoors. I know those are my favorite nights growing up as a kid, still is today. So I hope y'all have a fantastic Saturday night, and we'll see y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center tonight at 10.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.